My name's James, and together with my friend Selwyn, we've been teaching people how to be creative around the world for many years. We feel passionately that by being creative in a location, you can really get to know it in a unique way. And on this trip, we're in Italy. Well, we're heading up to the province of Abruzzo, which is basically, if you imagine the leg of Italy, Abruzzo would be behind the knee. So we've driven from Rome, which would be at the front of the knee, crossed basically diagonally across Italy, and we're heading to one of the most mountainous regions outside of the Alps in Italy, which is the province of Abruzzo. In these programs, we're hoping to travel around and highlight the beauty of these different destinations with different artistic projects. So we thought we'd start with drawing.
So here we are, and this, Selwyn, is the reason that we came to Abruzzo. I mean, this landscape is absolutely stunning, isn't it?
It is. It is really breathtaking up here.
And what we have to think about is how we can do a piece of art that basically interacts with this landscape and kind of highlights it in some way.
Yeah, and captures that real kind of awe-inspiring majesty of it somehow.
Exactly.
I mean, that is the challenge.
Yeah.
But it's been the challenge of artists all the time, I guess.
Exactly, and you think, like, you know, in modern terms, it doesn't just mean drawing the landscape. Literally, you've got people like Christo who are sort of taking sort of swathes of material out and highlighting different areas.
Yeah.
Right through to people like Anthony Goldsworthy and Richard Long who are making art out of the land.
Yeah, how that's changed from a couple of hundred years ago when artists like Caspar David Friedrich and Turner would have been still trying to capture that majesty of the landscape, but again in much more traditional ways, using paint and canvas. But now there's a lot more mediums and a lot more scope for artists to do what they want.
Well, we've got our work cut out for us then, haven't we?
We have indeed, James.
Engage.
Now, we don't want this to be a how-to program, but just in case you wanted to try it at home, we thought we'd give you some of our top drawing tips. So using some of the most high-tech equipment available, here we go.
Always look at your subject matter. Don't get stuck just looking at your paper. People often make mistakes when they don't spend enough time looking. To illustrate this, we've been messing around with a bit of perspex.
Try to be expressive with your lines. Looking a bit nervous there, Selwyn. Try to experiment with the different kinds of marks you can make on the paper. You could also, unlike us, try and stay focused.
I do wish you'd grow up, Selwyn. It's so embarrassing.
We went for a walk.
Because the creative process starts with your eyes. It's not always about getting stuff down on paper. Looking is probably the most important thing.
It's amazing that they have still got this kind of grand architecture, you know, even though that this place is kind of quite a poor village, or it must have been quite a poor village in the middle of nowhere.
But yeah, the Medici family though, the big Tuscan powerhouse of a family back in the 14th and 15th centuries, they got involved here. I mean, their coat of arms is around the corner,
there, isn't it?
And this is the Piazza Medici.
Oh yeah, so it's the Medici Square.
So there must have been a bit of money coming in from somewhere.
You're so clever, Selwyn.
But I think that that combined with these, like you say, that rustic, old mountain...
Faded colours. So it's just like a kind of, it looks like a movie mock-up. It's incredible to think that it's actually real, this place.
Beautiful, James.
It is really beautiful here, man. And it's raining in London, so we should be happy, yeah.
We are happy here.
But the question is, like, if you're creative in a location like this, does it help you to sort of better engage?
Yeah, without a doubt. Just gets under the skin of a place. And
yeah.
I think rather than just skimming over the surface, getting creative means, yeah,
you really have to look at where you are and take it in.
I was thinking, Selwyn, at this point, maybe we could play around with drawing in a different sense.
Well, I like that, because drawing's not just about paper and pencils and stuff.
No, I think I have an idea.
Oh gosh.
James, what's this?
This, my friend, is a high-grade laser pen.
A high-grade laser pen, and what are we going to do with that?
We are going to draw onto the landscape.
That's insane. How do we do that? It's just light.
Wait and see.
Crikey. So we're kind of using light We're going to be using light here to draw.
Yeah, I reckon that if we set a camera up to do a long exposure,
Yeah.
we could pretty much use this beam of light as a pencil to actually draw onto the actual landscape itself.
Okay. So every kind of little squiggle and mark you're making with that is going to come out as if it was a mark on a piece of paper.
Absolutely, yeah. It's like we're actually drawing onto the landscape, but I mean...
Is it going to work?
I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll give it a go and we'll see what happens.
Okay, cool.
So basically, we're just playing around here with a camera, a tripod, and a little lighty stick thing.
Yeah, and a long exposure.
And by doing that, we're creating a drawing basically that only exists as a memory of the light.
Yeah, because the camera just picks up as the light runs across the surface of the building.
When we got home, I wasn't unhappy with the results.
Yeah, and it does look like a proper drawing. Right, we've done a bit of art, now for a bit of fun. We're going truffle hunting tomorrow. Bring it on.
Yay. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Come on,
Ciao.
Ciao. Grazie.
There's the dogs.
Here we go. Look at them, they're so young.
So what we're after, Selwyn, is the white truffle.
Ah, the white truffle.
See,
Why is that,
that's-
though?
The white truffle is the most expensive one. I think it's about like 5 times more expensive than the black one.
Wow.
Some of these guys have found truffles that are worth up to 50,000 euros.
Okay, we're in the wrong game, James.
Well, if we find one,
Yeah.
I'll distract the guy with a small spade. You hit him over the head.
Right.
We'll make a run for it.
Brilliant, brilliant. That's an amazing plan. What are the chances of finding one?
Oh, it's the wrong season.
Oh, okay, terrific. Terrific. He's on it.
The dog is just absolutely going for it.
That is...
He's onto something.
I'm going to move away because I'm getting doit in the face. Go, 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 Ruby. Ruby, 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 Ruby.
There's someone there.
Oh, what's this?
That is like almost a white one. Is this a white one? No, it's not a white one.
Senti l'odore. Eccolo qua, vedi?
Yeah, you can see it. It's here. But they've got a bit.
What about that one?
Eccolo qua, se vuoi riprendere.
One thing we were keen to do when we were out there was a project with the locals.
Yeah, because in essence they are part of the landscape, and so interacting with them becomes part of the experience of the location, and it also means that they get to do something which perhaps they haven't tried before.
So we were working with a local music school, and although none of them were expert drawers, we thought that by working together and having a laugh, that they'd be able to produce something they'd be really proud of.
So basically what we're going to do is we're going to be working on a group drawing, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to basically be drawing in like a line. So we're going to be like drawing like a line.
So pick one line in the landscape. It could be the top of the mountains, but it could also be a line in the landscape as well. As you walk, you're just taking your line for a walk. You're leading your line through the paper as you're looking. It will build up as each line goes along and each person goes. The picture will build up
and up and
to
up.
make the whole landscape.
Well, what an amazing end to a great trip. Man.
Brilliant, yeah.
I mean, the people out here are so warm and, they're just willing to give these things a go.
They threw themselves into it, and like you say, this just rounds off, I think, a great trip. We've been all over the place looking, creating.
Exactly, and also getting the locals involved, which I think is really important. It's great seeing people who don't have that much confidence in drawing, all taking part as a community.
Yeah, because they were quite nervous to start. I could tell some of them were a little bit scared, but once they got into it.
I think it was really good.
And the end product,
Fantastic.
Triumph. It is a triumph. Well, that went well, didn't it?
Yeah. If you were going to be an animal, what animal would you be?
I'd be a horse.
Why?
Well, because I like horses.
Because you'd like to be ridden.
I thought it was because they're quite spiritual, but I don't know how this fits in with us drawing in the landscape.
Well, sometimes you've just got to laugh, Selwyn. You've got to laugh, otherwise you cry.
In its natural habitat, it's very, very rare that we should actually get a chance to see Montepulciano d'Abruzzo here. Don't get too close. They are very, very shy. We must be very careful and very, very quiet. But here it is, a half-full glass.
Of
I'm actually gonna
multiple
approach it
Shiano.
now. I'm actually going to try and make contact and...
Don't
pick it
be
up.
careful, be careful. Remember what happened to Steve Irwin.